You know what's strange? Most people don't feel broke on payday. For a few minutes, they feel rich. Your salary arrives, you open your banking app, the number finally looks good again, and for a moment, you relax. You think, this month will be different. Then life starts collecting its share. Rent, the car payment, insurance, groceries, a subscription you forgot about, dinner with friends, a few purchases you didn't really plan. And somehow, before the month is even over, you're looking at the same account balance again and asking the same question: where did all my money go? We're usually told the answer is simple. Stop buying coffee, stop eating out, cancel Netflix, stop buying things you don't need. And yes, those things can help. But they don't explain why someone earning $120,000 a year can still feel financially trapped. They don't explain why a raise can make your life look better without making you feel any safer. And they definitely don't explain why some people earn more and more, yet somehow never seem to get ahead. Because the real problem isn't always how much money you spend, it's what happens to your money first. Think about building a house. You don't build the second floor before the foundation. You don't spend everything on expensive windows and beautiful furniture, while hoping the ground underneath somehow holds, because everyone understands one simple rule. The foundation comes first. Money works the same way, but millions of people do the opposite. They increase their lifestyle first and plan to build stability later. A better apartment, a newer car, more expensive restaurants, more travel, more subscriptions, a nicer phone. None of these decisions looks dangerous by itself. That's what makes lifestyle inflation so powerful. It doesn't arrive like a financial disaster. It arrives disguised as progress. You get a raise, and suddenly, the old apartment feels too small. You get promoted, and the old car feels embarrassing. You start earning more, and things that once felt luxurious begin to feel normal. And eventually, your new income has a new job, maintaining the life you upgraded. That's the trap. You didn't necessarily become irresponsible. Your definition of normal simply moved. Psychologists call part of this process hedonic adaptation. Humans get used to improvements surprisingly quickly. The new car becomes just your car. The nicer apartment becomes home. The expensive vacation becomes a memory. The excitement fades, but the payment doesn't. And this creates a strange financial illusion. You earn more, you spend more, you get used to spending more, then you earn more again, and repeat the process. So the raise that was supposed to make you feel richer simply creates a more expensive version of your old life. You didn't get a raise, you got a more expensive normal. And then, there's identity. This is where money becomes psychological. Because you're not always buying things because you need them. Sometimes you're buying what the thing represents. You're not just buying a nicer car, you're buying proof that you've succeeded. You're not just moving into a better apartment, you're buying evidence that you're finally becoming the person you imagined you'd be. You're not just paying for a vacation. You're buying the feeling that your hard work is finally paying off. So the purchase feels emotional before it ever becomes financial. And that's why simply telling people to spend less doesn't always work. You're not fighting a spreadsheet, you're fighting identity. Social media makes this even harder. 30 years ago, you mostly compared your life to the people around you, your neighbors, your coworkers, your friends. Today, you can compare your life to millions of people before breakfast. Someone bought a new house. Someone is flying business class. Someone just bought a $100,000 car. Someone claims they retired at 35. But you don't see the credit card balance. You don't see the mortgage. You don't see the stress. You don't see the years of work behind the picture. You see the result. And slowly, your idea of what normal looks like moves higher. That's one of the most expensive things you can upgrade. Not your house, not your car, your expectations. Now let's make this practical. Imagine two people, same age, same company, same salary, and both receive a $500 monthly raise. Person A celebrates immediately. A better car, a slightly nicer apartment, more dinners out, more weekends away, a few subscriptions. Nothing crazy, nothing that makes anyone say, "You're terrible with money." Every decision seems reasonable. Person B celebrates too. But before spending the extra money, they make one decision. They automatically move $300 into investments. The remaining $200 is theirs to enjoy. No guilt, no deprivation, no pretending the raise didn't happen. They simply changed the order. Future first, present second. And that tiny difference doesn't look impressive today. But give it 10 years, 20 years, 30 years. Now it becomes a completely different story. Here's where the math becomes uncomfortable. Suppose that $300 is invested every month for 30 years. Using a hypothetical average annual return of 7%, the account could grow to roughly $366,000 before taxes and fees. The exact result will vary. Markets don't move in straight lines. Returns aren't guaranteed. But the point isn't the exact number. The point is what your brain struggles to understand. Small decisions become enormous when you give them enough time. $300 doesn't look like wealth, but $300, repeated every month, for decades, can become a completely different financial future. And that's why time is one of the most valuable assets you have. But here's the other side of compounding. Debt compounds too. And unlike investments, high-interest debt works against you. A $500 purchase might feel like $500 today. But if it sits on a high-interest credit card long enough, the real cost can become much larger. That's why the monthly payment can be so deceptive. $29 doesn't sound dangerous. Neither does $50 or $95. But add enough small payments together, and suddenly your future income is already committed. You're not spending next month's money. You're spending the money of a future version of yourself, and that person hasn't even earned it yet. This is why saving alone isn't enough. Saving is important, but saving is only the beginning. If you keep every dollar under your mattress, you're not building meaningful long-term wealth. You need a system. You need an emergency cushion. You need to control expensive debt. And once your foundation is stable, you need your money to have the opportunity to grow. That's where investing and compound growth come in. The goal isn't simply to accumulate money. The goal is to build assets that can work alongside your income, because there is a limit to how many hours you can sell. There isn't the same limit on how many years your invested money can compound. That is the difference between simply saving and actually building wealth. But there's another reason financial stability matters. It gives you something people rarely include in the definition of wealth: margin. Imagine your car suddenly needs a $1,200 repair. For one person, it's annoying. They pay the bill, they go home, the week continues. For another person, it's a crisis. They check their bank account, then their credit card, then their upcoming bills. They start moving money around. Maybe one payment gets delayed. Maybe another gets put on a card. Same repair. Same $1,200. Completely different experience. The difference isn't the repair. It's the margin underneath them. And margin doesn't just protect you from emergencies. It gives you choices. Imagine losing your job. If you have almost nothing saved, the question becomes, how quickly can I find another paycheck? But if you have months of living expenses available, the question becomes, what should I do next? That's a completely different kind of life. One person is reacting, the other is choosing. That's what financial freedom actually means. Not necessarily luxury, not a giant house, not a private jet. Options. The ability to say no, the ability to wait, the ability to change direction. The ability to leave something that is hurting you without immediately wondering how you're going to survive next month. And this is why I don't believe the answer is to stop enjoying your money. If saving means never traveling, never eating at your favorite restaurant, never buying anything you enjoy, eventually you're going to hate the entire system, and systems you hate don't last. The goal isn't to make your present miserable for the sake of your future. The goal is to make your future stronger, while still enjoying your present. So, when your income increases, don't send the entire raise toward your lifestyle. And don't necessarily save every dollar either. Protect a meaningful portion first. Maybe it's 20%, maybe 30%, maybe 50% if your financial foundation is weak. The exact percentage depends on your situation. The principle is what matters. Build the foundation before upgrading the lifestyle. Then enjoy what's left, without guilt. Because here's the uncomfortable truth. If you wait until you earn enough to start building wealth, you may wait forever. Why? Because enough keeps moving. You earn $50,000, and $50,000 feels like enough. Then you earn $70,000. Your expenses rise. Now $70,000 feels like normal. Then $100,000. The house gets bigger, the car gets newer, the vacations get more expensive, and somehow, you still don't feel rich. You didn't fail to earn enough. Your lifestyle simply grew alongside your income. More income doesn't automatically create more freedom. What you do with the additional income determines that. So here's what I want you to do the next time you get a raise. Don't wait until the money arrives to decide what to do with it. Decide beforehand. Before the extra money reaches your checking account, choose where part of it will go. Emergency fund, debt repayment, retirement, investments. Whatever part of your foundation needs the most attention. Automate it. Make the decision once, instead of fighting with yourself every month. Then take the rest, and enjoy it. Because you earned that too. And if you remember only one thing from this entire video, remember this. Don't make your lifestyle grow as fast as your income. Let your financial foundation grow faster, because every raise gives you two choices. You can make your life more expensive, or you can make your future more secure. You can buy something that feels good today, or you can buy something that gives you more choices tomorrow. And the smartest people don't necessarily choose only one. They learn to do both, in the right order. Think back to the beginning. Payday. You open your banking app. For a few seconds, you feel rich. Maybe the goal isn't to make that feeling last longer. Maybe the goal is to stop needing payday, to feel safe. Imagine opening your bank account halfway through the month, and nothing feels urgent. A bill arrives, you can handle it. Your car breaks down, you can handle it. Your paycheck is delayed, you have time. A better opportunity appears, you can take it. That's wealth in a form most people don't talk about. Not what you can buy, what you can refuse, what you can wait for, what you can walk away from, what you can choose. So the next time your paycheck increases, don't immediately ask, "What can I afford now?" Ask, "What can I make possible?" Because saving money isn't the final destination, it's the foundation. Investing can turn that foundation into growth. Time can turn growth into wealth. And financial margin can turn wealth into something even more valuable: freedom. The goal isn't to become the person who earns the most money. It's to become the person whose money gives them the most choices. So when your next raise arrives, build the foundation first. Then enjoy the view from the second floor. And if this changed the way you think about your next paycheck, tell me in the comments. What will you do differently with your next raise?